Welcome to one of the many circle sessions hosted by Wonder Girls. Wonder Girls is a nationwide classrooms movement. We bring relatable female role models into classroom settings through our circle sessions. As you will see, the crux of these sessions is its dialogic nature. We're currently working with 150 plus classrooms across 7 Indian cities. Our aim is for every adolescent in India to have access to relatable female role models. I welcome you once again and hope you enjoy learning from our speakers' life journey and career path.
Okay.
I'm so happy.
Even we are so happy students are joining in and they're very curious. Yeah. You can just welcome ma'am and yes.
I can't see all of you because I'm on my phone, but I hope you guys can see me. Hi guys, very happy to be here.
They put their videos off, but they write on chat box. They use a chat box a lot, so you can see all the messages. Yes.
Yeah. Hi. Lots of highs.
Yes. So, welcome to Shine. So their name is Shining Star. So, like the name of the class.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Hi, all the shining stars. Hello. Please just call me Didi. That's ma'am is too. Yeah, I'm just Didi.
Okay. Yes. Hi. Yes. No. Okay, ma'am. Okay. Yes.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. So welcome to our class.
Thank
you. We should
you.
start with you introducing yourself and just describing your journey in like short.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I am Abhishruti Dutta. I am a fashion designer. I have always wanted to be a fashion designer since a very young age, but I really didn't know how to go about it till I gave my entrance exam for to get into a business school. And I failed it miserably. Yeah. And that's when I realized that is not for me. And at the time when I wanted to do fashion designing, people still weren't talking a lot about it, especially from the place I come from in Calcutta. We hardly had any fashion schools except NIFT and few more. And, that's when my dad sat me down and he's like, are you sure you want to go ahead with business schools or you want to do something else? And that's when I, got the courage to tell him that I think I want to make clothes. And he's like, yeah, then do fashion designing. Do what you like for, in 50 years, you have to wake up in the morning and still want to go to work. And what will make you want to go to work? So I said, probably making clothes will make me want to go to work every morning. And that's how my journey started. I gave some few, entrance exams. I missed the NIFT entrance exam because my selection exams were going on for class 12. And that's how I missed it. But then I sat for Pearl Academy. I failed that as well because they had too many maths questions. And then I looked into some other colleges. There were a lot of, opportunities that I didn't know were there till I actually researched into it. So there were a lot of colleges. There's not just, 1-2 colleges that will give you the opportunity. So I had sat for a lot of exams. And then I finally got through Raffles Design in Bombay. Also because they didn't have a lot of maths questions. And I think that is the reason why I really did well. And they took me in and that's how my journey started.
Okay. So how it is going now? Like,
since the time I started learning in the school, in the fashion school, till now, it seems like ages, it seems like a long time since I've been doing fashion design, but it's just been about 5-6 years. But I've learned so much, and that is the reason why it feels like it has been so long. Since the time I started my own label about 4.5 years back, I have made so many mistakes, but I have learned so much from them that I still want to keep doing this for the rest of my life. So it has been really amazing. It has been a lot of up and down, more downs than up, because, when you start off, it's very difficult to start off your journey to achieve your dreams. It is very difficult, but then when you learn from your mistakes and then you rectify them, there's a sense of success that you feel ki acha theek hai chalo, I've done it, even that small milestone I've crossed. So it has been a very good journey till now.
Yes. So what ma'am is saying here is that she like first tried for the business school, and she wasn't able to crack it, but fortunately it was her journey, like it was like a destiny which was calling her in the fashion designing, and she talked to her father and the parents, and she was finally able to convince them that she wants to pursue fashion designing, and she gave entrance, and after that she is here and she has her own label, like people have their own company, right? So she has her
Yes.
own label. So congratulations to ma'am.
Thank you.
Yes. So how does your
How
day look like?
my day is, see, I am not a very early riser because I sleep very late because I have a lot of work towards the end of the day for some weird reason. So I wake up in the morning, I go to work, and the first thing I do is I go into my studio. I figure out what customers' orders are left, what is to be done. I speak to my team. I have an amazing team of 3 people. I have one pattern master who makes the patterns basically, and I have 2 tailors. But that team is really strong. Just the 3 of them, and me and my intern, we do a lot of works until the entire day, and we don't really have timings. I mean, our office timing are from 10 to 7, but it goes beyond 7 because when you don't finish work, you can't really leave, and then there are customer deliveries to give. So but the only thing that is in our day when we go to work, it doesn't even feel like work because we're doing what we love to do. So even if I'm working beyond 7, it doesn't feel like कि बहुत ज़्यादा काम हो गया है, probably have to go home and take rest. It's just that because you're working and you're loving what you're doing, you don't even feel tired. So my entire day we're just working, we are making designs, we are making beautiful garments for our customers, and our customers come for trials. They love the happiness that we see on their faces when they try on our garments. That is what keeps us going.
Yeah, so ma'am is actually very hardworking, and she starts her day very early, and she also have people around her who helps her to create clothes. And the one thing that like pushes her every day is the passion for the work she's doing. So she loves her work, and she wants to do it more. So even like after 7 p.m., when like every office closes and she has to work, she doesn't feel it is like a work. It is like something she loves. So it's like something you want to study, and you study some storybooks, and then you want like you like it, and then you want to like not leave it. So just that.
Exactly.
Yes. So just like that. Yeah. So there's one question, that how did you feel when you finally became a fashion designer?
I don't really know the day I became a fashion designer, but probably I could give it a day. This is the first time that someone has asked me this question. Probably the day would be when I made my first garment for my mother. Probably that would be the day, because I remember making my first garment and putting it on my mom because that was a college assignment. I had made it in her size because I wanted to surprise her, and she wore it, and I stitched it myself. Now I don't because I have tailors, but that time for college assignments, I stitched it myself, and my mom wore it, and she loved it, and she flaunted it. She still does the first dress that I made for her. And I think that would be the day that I became, I became like a proper fashion designer. And that day made me like, it was just like a milestone that I had crossed. And I'm like, okay, I've arrived. And yeah, this is the day I've arrived and I can do this forever.
Yes. So the mom realized that she became a fashion designer when she made a cloth for her mom, and she really liked it, and she still like show off to people that this is made by my daughter, and she likes it a lot. So she is actually very happy, and she was actually very happy to see that cloth on her mother. So that was the day she realized that she is a fashion designer and she loves it. Okay, so if one wants to become a fashion designer, what are the finances required to that person?
See, so fashion design is a very professional intensive course. Like it's not like a normal college where they teach you a lot of subjects. They teach you English, maths, history, because in normal colleges they teach you that. But in fashion, it's a very concentrated course. They teach you how to stitch, they teach you colors, they teach you how to cut your fabrics. So it requires a lot of, instruments and machineries. There are machineries that are very expensive. So I would be very honest to tell you that it is not a very, very cheap course, but there are lots of, ways and lots of scholarships that colleges provide. for students. So normally in the best college in India we know is an IFT, and it is also the cheapest. So for them, they have a 4 years course. They charge about, for per semester it's 1 lakh rupees. So it's about 8 lakh rupees for a normal student. And they provide a very amazing scholarships where it depends on merit. It is very merit based. If you have very good marks for your entrance exams, they'll give you about 25% off. They'll give you 75% scholarship. There are also 100% scholarships if if you provide the right certificates. So, but the entrance exam is very, very difficult, and you have to prepare for an entire year if you want to really ace it. So yeah, it requires some amount of funding, but there are ways. There are ways to get into an IFT, and once you get into a fashion college, you are really you really build a foundation. So you can't really become a fashion designer without getting a proper foundation, I feel. And a little foundation is required. You also have like small courses. 1 year ka course hota hai, 2 years ka courses hota hai. So yeah, there are a lot of ways. There are a lot of opportunities that are here right now in India for fashion design schools. So, but yeah, at about 8 to 10 lakhs is required for to get the certificate.
Okay. So, like 8 to 10 lakh. So best college
Yeah.
you are saying is NIFT, and also thank you Princey and Tashu for that. So, like for example, you have IIT, like Indian Institute of Technology for engineering. The same
Right.
is NIFT for fashion designing. So again, it is a
That's true.
government. Yeah. So it is a
Yeah.
government college, and
Mhm.
so the fees is less, comparatively less, not less, but
Yeah.
comparatively lesser.
Comparatively less. Yes.
Yes. So lesser than other colleges. So if you really want to get into it, you should prepare for at least 1 year in order to get it. So it's just after 12th, right?
Right. That's after 12th. Yes.
Yes. So after 12th, you can get into these colleges. And even can we talk a little bit about private colleges? So what are the colleges that student can go to if they do not get into NIFT?
Mhm.
Or
Right.
any
So
other
private
colleges?
colleges, there are a lot of, yeah, there are a lot of private colleges like INA-FD is another college that doesn't charge a lot of money, and also provides you with required, certificates. That teachers are good. Raffles, why I'm not saying Raffles is because it is slightly on the higher side. I mean, I had gotten into Raffles because I really didn't want to waste one more year in giving entrance for an NIFT and get into it. And I had also given entrance for INIFD, but I just thought Raffles was a better option at that point of time because they had teachers from all over the world. We had lecturers from Paris, US, and I just thought we learned a lot, and we had very integrated courses. So Raffles is a good option. They also provide scholarship. In they don't provide 100% scholarship, but they do provide about 25 to 35%, but it is still on the higher side. So I would not encourage young people now, because you have so many options. That time we didn't have so many options either. It was about talking about, say, 7 years back, but now you have so many options. So there's INIFD is another good option. There's Pearl also, which is a private college and is also a good option and is in a lot of places all over India. One is in Delhi, one's in Jaipur. So they charge about a little more, probably about 15 to 17 lakhs, a doubles, because NIFT that way is very, very cheap. I mean, compare for a fashion school, because fashion schools charge a lot of money because of the required, like I told you, it is an expensive course.
Yes. So even the government colleges charging so much, we can
Yes.
expect like much
Yes.
more than this in private colleges. So
Yes,
yes.
but then also not to discourage is why it's a good investment. You will get a lot of things back from that investment. So you should not get discouraged just because the fees is a little high, because you can always try for the scholarships and everything. But I think which makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, but just that you will get returns, right? This is what you are saying.
That's for sure. Yeah, they'll definitely get returns on that investment.
So if you work hard in this field, you will get a lot of returns. Like if you invest in
Yeah,
it,
true.
you will get much more than
Much more. Yeah, probably triple, more, like more than. I mean, yeah, obviously.
yes. So it's just education is an investment, but
Yeah.
the thing is that it is up to you whether you want to take it seriously or not. And this
Exactly.
is actually a very hard course. So
Yes.
just make sure that when you are pursuing it, you like really work hard on it.
True.
Yes. So, so as we know now, we know the colleges in the process.
Mhm.
One more question that I want to ask you: that what are the challenges you faced? Uh,
See,
over-
as overall, like when I was a student, the first challenge that we really get, especially when you are moving out of your city in a different city, big city. I've never been to Bombay before. I had stepped out, I was in class 12th, and the first time I stepped out, I was probably 15, 16 years old. So the first challenge is for fashion design, you have to run around for fabrics and to look for fabrics and go into very small markets, with unknown people, and then you have to heckle a lot because they will charge you extra because they know you're students.
yeah.
So you learn you thoda sa bhav karna seekhna parega, and those things are very important. And then you go to places that you would normally not go to because these are big markets with big businessmen, and they know their work. And us as students, we go there and we get a little overwhelmed. When we were in first year, we had to go to these places, source material, anything, even for like a dhaga, we had to go to Crawford Market. So yeah, that was really far, and it was a big market. So for students, it gets a little overwhelming, but then you learn in that process. You learn how to talk to people, you learn to get smart, street smart.
Yeah.
So that way it was difficult for sure, but it was also a very like when I was doing it, I was feeling like I have to stop this. I'm not liking it. It is a lot of work. But then when you see the end product after you've done your assignments and you're like, okay, I'm doing this for a reason, I'm loving it, it gives you a satisfaction. So all that heckling and running around for fabrics and everything was a big, it was actually a learning process. And then when I sorry about that, yeah, and then when I came into business, that was another problem because as even though we are growing society, there are still times when women aren't given that much importance, obviously, because they see they talk to me on the phone and they think they'll meet someone more, I don't know, experienced, probably a man.
Mhm.
And then they come and they talk to me, this young girl, and they're like they can't take you seriously. But then when you really do your work and then you show them the work, then they're like, okay, fine, they can do it, they can do the work. So I have faced a lot of problems like that when people question my age, people question my gender. आप तो लड़की हो, आप यहाँ पे मत जाओ, ये नहीं कर सकते, वो नहीं कर सकते. But then I did it and I overcame all the stigma that people had put on me. And but then again, I will always say that it has been a learning experience, it has been a fun journey. So yeah.
Okay, so what I heard was two challenges. First was running from here to there, and actually the shopkeepers try to fool you for like
Yeah.
even if a particular thing is for 20 rupees, they try to sell it for 40 rupees if they think that you are not having any kind of experience. So yes, it happens. So this was first challenge that you go from here to there and keep on running for fabrics and materials, because the thing which has to come out has to be perfect. So for that you have to like select things from various places. So running from one market to the other was one of the challenges she went through. Second was that being a woman, of course any woman can relate to this, is that people don't take you seriously. They think, oh, she must be like she ultimately has to get married and she's just passing her time for this, like
Exactly.
yeah, this is not the thing she has to do. She's just like doing because she has free time, and like they don't take you seriously. So this is one challenge that every woman faces, and even I can relate to it. So but when people see her work, they realize that yes, she has something and we should give that project or whatever the like things are. So these are the two challenges. And like people, you can write questions in the chat box, not her age. Okay, she's young, that is that you can. And rest other questions you can write in the chat box. So like in the so when we were talking about being a woman, so like being a woman
Right.
has been like difficult for everyone, and today is Women's Day.
Mhm.
So just wanted to
Yeah, right.
understand, like even students are going to face this problem in future, that despite of working hard, people will not take them seriously. So how do you overcome this, like in everyday's world? Like even might, I don't know, but your parents must be questioned that रात रात को बाहर रहती है, ऐसे कपड़े पहनती है, and all these remarks you get. So how do you tackle, how do you like go through all these things and conquer everything? Yes.
See, when I just started off my journey, my business, because no one in my family had ever done business before me. When I started off, a lot of people did question, that how is she going to do it all alone and everything. And I also questioned myself that, am I really going to be able to do it? But then the only way I could move forward was because I had very supportive parents. And I think that is very, very important. Like, to not listen to society and let your daughter do whatever they want to do in their lives. Just support them, So that was one of the main things that really pushed me forward. I did have a lot of bad days when, I had to listen to a lot of things from people. I used to break down that, I used to come back home. I'm like, from tomorrow, I'm not doing this anymore. But then again, I used to basically go to my Instagram and see my, the stuff that I had done all this while. And then I'm like, no, why am I listening? Because these people are not helping me in doing what I am doing. So they're just going to destroy everything that I have worked for in so many days, in so many years. And the best way to deal with that is just close your ears and not listen to them. Just ignore. Ignore is the biggest word.
Yes.
So that is how I've tried. I'm still struggling. There's still people, like in my family who tell me that, she's going out to different places. I still go out for fabric sourcing to different places, to different cities alone. How is she going to do it? I just don't listen to them. Because it is not going to help me in any way. And I make myself understand that if it is not giving me anything productive, if it is not helping my future, that advice is not for me. That advice is not going to help me. So just ignore.
Yes, so I think that answers your question, Nandini, that how do you feel? She feels bad, but the thing is that ultimately she realized that who I am and what I have done, and these are the people who are not that important, and my work and what I love is the most important thing. So that is the thing keeps her going, and though she feels bad, but again, like the work and the feeling that she gets pushes her to do that work again and again, and ignore all these people. So ignore is the biggest word to all those
Yes.
people who try to discourage you. Okay, so what was your dream in your childhood?
I read that question. So I was just thinking while Kajal was talking, I was thinking there were so many dreams. First, I wanted to become a doctor. Then I wanted to become an air hostess. And I think every child, in the time they grow, they develop these, hobbies and then these aspirations, and then you grow with them. I think I was very hell bent on becoming a biotechnologist. For some reason, I had no idea what that was, because it just sounded very cool at that time. So I went from doctor to air hostess to biotechnologist. And then I thought कि ठीक है, fine, everyone's doing commerce. सब लोग ने commerce लिया है, business ही कर रहे हैं. Sorry, business पढ़ रहे हैं, business school में जा रहे हैं, BBA कर रहे हैं, MBA कर रहे हैं. तो I think that is the only way you can succeed in life. That is what people are doing. Because engineer मुझे बनना नहीं था, because I was very bad in science. I don't know, I wanted to become a biotechnologist. I know why. So, but then because all my friends were doing either commerce या science, either doctor बन रहे थे या engineers बन रहे थे, तो I thought शायद वही सब करते हैं, या फिर accounting भी कर रहे थे, CA बन रहे थे. So I thought that was the only way to, that those were the only three professions. But then I really grew, in class 11, 12, I became a little more mature. I started researching, and then I realized the possibilities are endless. You can become anything. There are so many professions right now, and you should do what you love. And that is when I thought, कि ठीक है, चलो, fashion designing, I think, is it has always been a dream, but I never thought that I will become a fashion designer when I was a child, because I thought it is not, it is something that is unattainable.
Yeah.
But it is not. I realized, because I opened up my eyes and I saw around, I looked around beyond what my friends were doing. And then I realized, okay, I can do what I love. You can do photography, you can do cooking, you can become a chef, you can bake, you can do anything that you want in this life when you open your eyes and you look around and then you see the possibilities that are waiting for you.
Yes, so like every one of like we can actually relate, and even students are saying that my dream also changes a lot. So she was changing things like I can do this, I can do this. So
Right.
but again we know certain professions, and after we feel that there's no other profession, so people
Right.
who are there are just by mistake, or they have not done anything, they just by mistake become a chef, or any other profession other than like 2 3 profession that we know, like IIT, doctor, engineer, and
I know.
officers. That's it. So slowly and gradually, when she like was in 11th, she realized that there are several professions that she can pursue, and which can be different. And she did not like science, so she could not do like maths also. But again, the thing was that she then realized slowly and gradually that there are other professions as well, and she can pursue that also. But like others and like us, um, in her childhood she wanted to become a lot of things. So so your whole journey is not easy, but is that journey what makes you feel happy? Yes, is this the journey that makes you feel happy?
Yeah, I think, if I go in retrospect, if I look back, and if I was doing, say, suppose I passed that, I would have passed that business school wala exam, suppose. They gave me a letter to join the college. And if I was doing that, I don't think I would have been as happy as I am right now, because I would have been probably stuck in a cubicle 9 to 5 job. I would have come back home. It would be the same thing again and again. But here, right now, I'm creating new things. I'm creating things that I like. I am creating garments with my own vision as the way I like. And it is not, every day is different for me. So I think, yes, I quite like the journey. If I was something else other than this, I think I would have still changed my profession and become a fashion designer, because I have had a lot of friends who got into engineering, who got into, say, business schools, and still they were studying with me because they had done graduation in that, but then they figured out कि ये मेरे लिए नहीं है, and then they came and did fashion designing with me. So it is okay to change professions. It is completely fine as long as you're happy and contented in doing what you're doing.
So you cannot see yourself as like any other profession than this fashion designer.
No, no, I don't think so. Not in this lifetime. Probably the only other thing that I like doing is food. And I do have with my own studio, I have a small cafe as well. So I'm also, working on that. So food and fashion, that is the only two things that I like doing. And that is what I'm going to keep doing.
Okay, so this is how has journey like inspired her and made her happy, and she cannot imagine herself anywhere else. So like, do you have ID on Insta or Facebook? You can.
I have two IDs on Instagram. One is my personal ID. It's called My Rainbow Rhapsody. And my profession, like my work ID is Abhishruti Dutta Atelier, Atelier. That's where all my work is. And all the students, it's just an announcement. If you have any questions regarding fashion design, even later on in life, you can shoot me a DM anytime. I'm always there to, guide you and help you with questions that you have. So these are my two IDs. You can go to the Wonder Girls company's Insta page, and then you can follow. Like, you can see my ID there. Any questions you have other than fashion, also just regarding your education. If you're confused about what you want to take up, I'm always there to help you out. Not an issue.
Yes. So okay, I'll just post it. Okay, don't worry. I'll
Yeah.
post it on the group. So okay. So one question that I can see you, what is your favorite color?
My favorite color. See, this is a very difficult question to ask a designer because there are so many colors.
Yes.
There every day it changes, but I think I will still always stick to pink. I know a lot of girls are going to think, and everyone's going to think too cliche. Girls obviously they like pink, but what to do? I like pink. It's a very nice color. It goes with so many things. So I think pink would be my all-time favorite color.
Yes, and it is also available in various shades.
Shades, yes,
So every shade is very beautiful. Like, yeah.
exactly.
Okay, so ma'am, like pink, and yes, every color has its,
Every color definitely has its own beauty.
yeah. So, like, what are the qualities required to become a fashion designer?
See, the first quality I think that you really require is to have a very creative mind and an open mind. You have to be open to every kind of thing that you see around you. Because finally, when we design clothes, the process is basically we get an inspiration first. And that inspiration is what helps us design, because we just don't sit with a pen and paper and start sketching, because ऐसे तो दिमाग में नहीं आता है whatever sketch you want to do. So you have to first have an inspiration, which is the most important thing. You can get inspired by anything. You can get inspired by nature. You can get inspired by a small bird, from a small insect से शुरू करके. You can get inspired by water, ocean, anything. You can even get inspired by your, you know, by the people around you, your role models, colors. So you first take an inspiration, and then you just go forward, you move forward, and yeah,
So just keep an open mind and
very open mind.
yes,
And yeah, you also have to be, you have to be questioning everything most of the times. Ki, if I do this, how will it turn out? If I do that, how will it turn out? So basically just question your creativity and put it on paper.
yeah. So just write it down and keep on questioning, like, would it look good or not?
Yeah,
How will it look? Just imagine. So, and keep an open mind and take inspiration from, like, try to be a good observer. I think
right,
here what you wanted to say was that
right,
take things from your environment when you go out in a park or you go out on a road. Just see what are the things you can see and try to take inspiration from it. So just keeping an open mind and not being stick to, like, this is the thing. You have to, like,
right,
be this much, this, these are the things and these are the things, and you keep on looking for inspiration. Yes.
right.
So one question is that how, what is the process of designing a particular clothes? So how do you
Right.
start, like, from the scratch, if you can describe how we
See,
go about
what it is a very long process to make you first understand that is, first you have to get an inspiration, because without an inspiration you can't do anything. So suppose my inspiration say is a bird. Okay, now with a bird I have to make a mood board. What the bird is conveying, it conveys freedom, it conveys colors, it conveys a lot of things, whatever the bird conveys. So you put that on the mood board, and then you have a lot of words. You have freedom, you have colors, you have feathers. There are physical aspects, there are emotional aspects, and then you put them into clothes, you put them into your sketches. Now you make dresses like that, you make like 100 200 designs, you keep sketching, because the more you develop, the more you will get better ideas. So in college we used to call this design development and research. So you have to do a lot of research, you have to keep sketching out, because if it can't really be on your mind, it has to be physically put down on pen and in pen on paper. So you keep designing, you keep developing, and then after you're done with say 100 sketches, you get something out of them. You like say 10 designs that you really like, so you take those 10 designs, you develop them more, then you get color inspirations from the bird, from the inspiration that you're taking. You get color inspirations, you make a color board, then you go look for fabrics, because that is again another important thing. So you look for fabrics, you also make fabrics. A lot of designers weave their own fabrics. So you get the fabrics ready, and then you put that design into production. So for production, what we first do is we make samples. We don't directly make the clothes on the main fabric. So we take a scrap fabric, which we also call muslin. So we make a muslin fit. We see if the garment is fitting nicely on the mannequin, and then we see if there are any changes that needs to be done, and then we start work with the real fabric. We cut the real fabric, we stitch it, and then that's how the main garment comes into into existence.
Okay, so it is quite a long process. You
Very long process.
Yes, one might think that it is just like taking out a fabric and stitching something, but it is a long process. You take, first of all, you
Yes.
take inspiration. And for example, ma'am was saying was bird. So and now you can just not paste birds on fabric. It is just
Yeah.
watching, like, uh, putting things, like whatever you have in mind you put on paper, and then after you research on it, and after that you find the fabric, and then you go on to like designing that particular fabric. So this is the big process, and I think you have cut short it, and then
Yeah.
you describe, because there is a much longer process than this. So it's just that little bit of inspiration, and then clothes, and starting with the fabric, and then finally designing the clothes. So
Right.
yes, do you have a brand or any, like, yes, brand name?
My brand name is by my own name. It's called Abhishruti Dutta Atelier. Atelier means, a studio where you produce your creativeness, where you produce garments, where you produce, paintings. I'm not an artist, I'm a designer. So in my atelier, I produce garments. So it's called Abhishruti Datta Atelier.
Okay. So Shruti Datta Atelier, and I will also send you her Instagram page so you can follow and see her work. So okay, so students, it is rude to ask someone's age, okay, and you shouldn't ask. It is
It
very
is
rude,
okay.
okay. No, but the thing is that you should learn, and no
Yeah.
problem that you asked. But when in life, when you go around, don't ask people's age, and especially women, okay.
Yeah.
So yes, we can show any dress. Okay, any dress. She will send picture, or you can show.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
today is my off day and I'm at home. I'm not in my studio. I would have loved to show you guys my studio, but it's everything's on my page. You can see it there.
Yes, you can see it, and we can also send you pictures. Okay, I'll send it to.
Yeah.
Yes, and you met any actors. So one thing, like, where is your studio?
My studio is in Calcutta.
Okay,
We are based out of Calcutta.
okay, okay.
I think I'm talking to students from Delhi.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
They are government school
Yeah.
in Sangam Vihar. Yes. Yes. Okay, so you met any actress? Okay.
I have met a lot of actresses, but not from Bollywood. Sadly, I have met actresses in Tollywood because that's what is in West Bengal, Tollywood, and it is a big thing here.
Yeah.
So I have dressed them up. I have dressed a lot of Tollywood actresses, but you wouldn't know their names.
So
I mean, if I told you, you wouldn't know them. So yeah, I have met them.
okay. So she has met actress from Tollywood. So Tollywood is the industry of like
Bengali,
Bengali. Okay, okay.
Bengali actresses.
Yes.
Yeah, they're very pretty
Uh,
though. You
yes,
should
yes.
you should check on my page. They've worn really pretty dresses. But I'm hoping to meet the Bollywood actresses pretty soon.
Yes.
Didi, sorry to unmute, but they have, in Bengal has a very famous actress. Their name is Jeet.
Their name is, sorry,
Jeet.
Jeet.
Jeet. Yes, Jeet is an actor. Yes, Jeet is a very famous actor. You know him? You've seen his movies?
Yes, Didi, because I am also belong to Bengal.
Oh, that's nice. But I sadly haven't dressed Jeet yet. But next time I dress Jeet, I'm definitely going to tell you guys.
Okay. So that's so sweet. And yes, this is your private business. Yes, it is private.
Yes, it is.
And again, do you wear dresses made by you? Yours. Yes.
I only wear dresses made by me because also there's a big reason behind this is I think Team Wonder Girls had sent me a question where they asked, "What do you want to change about this world?" And the first time I read that question, the first thing that came to my mind is when I talk to these kids, I will definitely tell them that you should avoid fast fashion. And what fast fashion is basically it's like fast food. How fast food is bad for your health. Fast fashion is very bad for the environment. What they do is they make clothes in mass production. Like say like Pantaloons, Shopper Stop, Zara, H&M, Forever 21. These are fast fashion brands. They take garments, the garments that are on the catwalk. जो fashion show mein they show all the garments, they take inspiration from them. They don't really take inspiration, they just copy them in a cheaper version, and then they make it in synthetic fabrics, and then they produce those garments very fast. And in this, what happens is a lot of water is wasted. About, we are I think the fashion industry is the second largest consumer of water in the world, and you can understand how much water they're consuming when they're making clothes so fast in such big numbers. And that's what harms the environment, because to make it is obviously it's harmful, and to discard it, what happens in fast fashion is वो कपड़े ज़्यादा दिन टिकते नहीं हैं. They get bad very fast, and once you discard them, they're harming the environment, because they're made with synthetic fabric. They're not made with organic fabric like cotton, silk. उससे नहीं बनते हैं, and that is the reason why they're cheap. So fast fashion is one thing that you should definitely avoid. And why I wear clothes made by my own is because it's cheaper. It lasts me longer, because I use scrap fabrics as well. I use my mom's saris to recycle them, to reuse them, to make clothes out of them. And a lot of customers also come to me with their old saris, and they ask me to recycle them, so I make new clothes with them. So in this, what happens, you're not discarding the fabric, you're reusing it, and it stays longer, because saris and their heritage things, they stay for longer. So I only wear clothes that I make myself, except denims. I can't make denims because I don't have that machinery. It is a different kind of production. But then again, denims you don't use and throw. So jeans ke alawa, mostly I wear things that I make myself. And I also don't buy a lot of new clothes. I wear clothes that are with me since the last, say, 5-6 years. 10 saal ke purani dresses bhi I wear. And I repeat, and it is not a bad thing to repeat clothes at all.
Yeah.
Other than, like, don't listen to every the things that people say कि ये तो कल भी पहना था. हाँ, clothes है, कल कभी भी पहन सकता है. I can wear it every day. What is the problem? As far as it's clean, it's fine. So buy less new clothes, invest lesser in new clothes, and stop buying fast fashion, because once you stop buying it, they will stop producing it, and that way it will help the environment. So yeah.
So you also answered this my next question, that what do you want to change in this world? The thing is that what ma'am is saying, that when we were talking about saving the environment, so like here in fashion world, what is happening is that they are creating clothes with at a very large scale and very fastly. So the thing is that they are using a lot of water, and like they are also polluting the environment in some or the other way, because the process is so fast. Okay. So just avoid wearing those clothes. And they also copy from other designers and from other shows. So that is also one of the problem, that we should like not like stealing someone's idea. So just not appreciating or by buying it. So you should stop buying it, and that will actually, when you stop buying it, they will actually stop producing it. So just make sure that you don't buy from all these brands. Okay, so what was your first cloth?
My first, was for my mom. I had made an anarkali for her, and she still wears it. And it, for some funny reason, it fit her the first time. Normally, clothes don't fit you very properly, but because I think maa ka pyar and maa ka ashirwad, it just fit her so well. And I actually got very good grades for that assignment that I did. So I made my first cloth was an anarkali for my mother.
Yes. So what are you currently working on?
So I'm currently working on, I'm from Calcutta, but my mom is from Assam. I think you guys heard of Assam, right? It's in the Northeast.
Yes.
So because she's from there, there are a lot of weavers there who work on this silk called Assam silk. Still, a lot of people don't know about it, Assam silk, but it is a very beautiful silk that they make by hand. They take out the thread from the silk, they weave it by themselves in a handloom, machine. It is completely, man-made. There's no machine involved in it. So I am working on this new collection using Eri silk, ERI. Eri silk is a non-violent silk. With normal silks, what happen is you have to first boil the silkworm. In that, the silkworm dies. So in Eri silk, we don't kill the silkworm. We just take the thread out of them, but the silkworms are alive, very much alive and happy. So we take the silk from the silkworm, which is Eri silk. It is the same properties as a silk. It looks very beautiful. And I am, extracting that thread from the Eri silk with my weavers in Assam. And I am working on an Eri silk collection where I'm going to make, clothes, garments out of that particular silk. That way, what happens is I am also, making people more aware of so many other silks that are available in our India. I mean, it's a vast country. We have so many things. We have so many, weavers who do such amazing work. So just basically making people aware of these small clusters of weavers and working with more conscious thread and fabric.
Okay. So, extending on what you were saying about environment, like in this world when everything you see around yourself some way or the other has harmed the environment, so
Mhm.
how do you like stay like stay at that position where you are saving the environment but also not sacrificing what your comfort, right? So how
Right, right.
to make sure that student or any other person is saving the environment, like what do you advise all these students to how be an environmental friendly person?
Yeah. So like I already, emphasize on the fact that stop buying too many clothes. Okay. Also, when you are discarding clothes, don't just throw them away. Give them to people who are not as privileged as you. Give them to, there's so many homes that you can give them to. You can give them to your friends. So many friends have lent their clothes to me. You should rent. When you go for weddings nowadays, a lot of people, buy new clothes. They get new clothes made. But in my studio, what I've done is I have given options to people to rent my clothes. They can rent a lehenga for a wedding, pay a very nominal amount just for the dry cleaning, give it back to me. And that way what happens is you're not spending a lot of money, and also you're not harming the environment. Why? Because when you make a lehenga, there are a lot of sequence involved, there are a lot of zari wo sab वगैरह use hota hai, which is not good for the environment. It clogs the rivers. It is the animals get affected because of that. So once you rent it, you are not discarding it, you are reusing it. So one is, try to rent clothes for weddings, unless it is your own wedding. I mean, you would definitely want to wear new clothes for your wedding. But if you're going for others' weddings, rent clothes, reuse and recycle. If you have an old dress that that you don't like that as much, but you can always perk it up. You can always add some frills to it. You can do so much with it to make it a new garment. And again, I will say, fast food is bad for health and fast fashion is bad for the environment. So these two things I should definitely remember. And because I practice what I'm preaching, that is why I'm emphasizing so much on it.
Yes. So again, what ma'am is saying that everything now, that every cloth that is produced is somewhere or the other from fast fashion, right? So I think that what here we have to understand that if you want to buy clothes for a particular occasion, let's not buy it but rent it from somewhere. And even if you don't want to rent it, you can actually borrow it from your friends, and someone who has like you can also give it to your friends, and you they can also give it to you. So it is just that give and take, and saving the money at the same time saving the environment. So not just piling up clothes, just use it again and again. And there's no problem in repeating clothes. And one thing that
Definitely no problem.
yes, so why do we have to do so many things for that? So there's no problem in repeating clothes. And again, what you have to understand is the fast fashion is actually bad for the environment as well as for somewhere it will come back to you, so it's bad for you also. So she told you that she became fashion designer. She realized she became a fashion designer when she made a cloth for her mother. So like it is difficult to convince our parents to become something very different. So what you became in your life is very different from what others have become, as you have also like discussed it earlier. So how do you go about convincing your parents?
See, first of all, not all every parent is is same. They don't come from the same kind of background. They don't come from the same kind of teachings that their parents have taught them. So mostly, parents who are, say, not as supportive as other parents towards your career is basically not, they're not trying to make your life difficult. They're just scared for you. So what you have to do is show them examples where people have done the same thing that you want to do and achieved it. Once they see examples, once they see, that okay, this is giving you returns, this is something that you can achieve, they will get more confidence in the career path that you're choosing. So basically, you just have to inculcate that trust in them, and really make them understand, because normally parents are the one who make you understand. But if you achieve the goal of making them understand that you're true, and how to make them understand is, you have to show them real work. You have to show them result, that this is what happens if I do this. So yeah, I think then other than that, I think parents are pretty uh, okay with you deciding your own career path if they see results.
Yes. So it's just that telling them that what results have come out from the people who have actually gone in this field. And parents are
Right.
not really trying to stop you or want to like make you sad, but the thing is that they're scared that you, what if you don't get into it? So it is a risky field. So they just try to
Mm.
protect you. But what you have
Right.
to make them understand is that that they understand what they you understand what they're saying, and at the same time you want to give it a try, and you also want to work hard for it, and you also have to show the results. Okay. Okay, so one last question that I have is that what is one advice you want to give to all these girls who want to become, might not they want to become a fashion designer, but what advice would you give at this point of life?
See, at this point of time, I would not just advise for fashion designing aspirants. I would just give you the advice that my parents have always given me. That is, let it unfold. So these are three words that have really helped me in my life. Let it unfold is, you do not stress about what is going to happen in the future. You just let it unfold, let life unfold, and you just go along the flow. That's it. Go with the flow. Don't confuse yourself too much with what is going to happen if I take this, what is going to happen, wo nahi karti to ye kya karu. So that doesn't make any sense, because at that point of time you're wasting so much time. You're wasting such amazing precious time, when you in that time you can do so much. So you can just let it unfold, just go with the flow, and only do what makes you happy, and not what people tell you to do.
Yes. So just do what makes you happy, and think about the present, and don't worry so much about future. So just be and live in the present. So with this, thank you so much. Let's
Thank
shower
you.
all the thank yous to ma'am. And
Thank you.
yes, it was very beautiful and very amazing session. And all the very best for your future endeavors. Thank
Thank you
you.
so much. I had such amazing time. I love speaking to kids, and all your questions really even helped me get an insight into my own journey, because all this while I just kept working and I never really looked back. So it was a nice retrospect for me as well. It was a very fun time talking to you guys. I hope to do it very soon again, and hope you guys enjoyed whatever I said, and I hope it helped you even a little bit.
Yes, yes. Thank you very much. And let's take a picture. So
Yes, please.